Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cam Broner Wrestling channel. This is the first video on this channel. I'm really excited for this. I just want to test this out and see how it's going to go. And I figured what better video to make as my first video than my WrestleMania 41 predictions. So let's just cut to the chase and get right to it. Okay, let's start night one with a banger. Maybe. Jay versus Gunther. Now this match has gotten a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot of shit. The build hasn't really necessarily been what we've all wanted it to be, and it definitely hasn't been what we know it could be. But I think that there is still a level of hype for this match. What Gunther has done to Jimmy and Jay over the past few weeks is just building that turmoil, building the feeling that we're going to get when Jay finally pins Gunther to win that title. So my prediction is that Jay is going to pin Gunther 1, 2, 3, no shenanigans, especially if they want to keep building up Jay from here, and maybe even turn him heel down the line and pair him up with The Rock. I keep hearing that. I hope it happens. That will revive Jey Uso's character to me, and I think that's a great idea. But that is my prediction for that match. Jay goes over. Next up, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Now, this match interests me, not necessarily because of the build, but more about what Naomi has done to change her character. She has become an absolutely different person, and the way she changes her outfits, her look, her demeanor in every promo really just shows like her versatility and how good she is. It's giving legit tension and not just storyline drama. Now Jade, I feel like she strives when she's in a bigger spotlight. I mean, don't get me wrong, Mania is the best you can get, but they're probably going to be like the second or third match on the card, kind of like the bun burner. To me, a Naomi win here plants the seeds for the long game, if you catch what I'm saying. Jade takes the L, and I think she can kind of start her redemption arc. And maybe even Bianca will win the triple threat match and win that title, so we can get a dream triple threat match of Naomi versus Bianca versus Jade Cargill. That would blow my fucking mind. Okay, moving on, we have the War Raiders versus the New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Now this one is going to be short and sweet because I don't really have a lot to say about this feud, if you'll even call it a feud. The only thing keeping me interested right now is the New Day. Kofi and Woods just turning up that aggression, playing like the veterans that turned heel is just such a good storyline. It's so smart. It's been a really fun switch up. The War Raiders have actually been booked a lot better the past few weeks, making it more serious, so I think we're getting a real clash of styles at WrestleMania. Not much to say about this one, except this. There is no way, and I mean zero possible chance, that the SmackDown tag titles aren't getting a match on WrestleMania. It makes no sense for this match to be on WrestleMania and them to have nothing. The only way to have all of this actually make sense is for Big E to come back. That would make the moment make sense, and it would tie up all those loose ends, and it would give you a reason for the SmackDown tag titles to be on SmackDown and not WrestleMania. Hi, can I get an El Grande Americano? Sure, sir. Here you go, sir. Thank you! So obviously we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, or Chad Gable, if you will. This match gets me excited for Chad Gable and his current success. The fact that he's getting a WrestleMania match is perfect. You can kind of tell with this feud that it wasn't really a long-term plan. They kind of threw it together, but it's definitely turning into something unique, and I'm definitely excited to see what happens. One thing that scares me a little bit, though, is Rey Mysterio. We saw that singles match on Raw with him against Julius Creed, which I was really excited for because we don't usually see singles matches with the Creed brothers because they're a tag team. But Rey had a lot of ring rust going. It took a while for the match to kind of get going and get paced. So I'm really hope that doesn't carry over into WrestleMania, and I hope Rey is training his ass off to make this a good match. And I think he's one of two people who are on a silent retirement tour between him and AJ Styles. I'm going to go with El Grande Americano or Chad Gable. I think he really needs the win here at WrestleMania. I think we're definitely going to get an interference from Alpha Academy and the LWO. I think we'll get a good clash there. But I think Chad Gable really needs this win, so I'm going to go with El Grande Americano. All right, next up we have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. This match has me excited. I feel like the build for this match has been like a season of Total Divas. Random slaps, parking lot brawls, and those awkwardly overproduced promos that literally had to go off script for them to be good. But you have to admit, when it comes down to it, when that bell rings, both of those women have all the tools to put on a 5-star match. When they get in there, that match is going to deliver. And if it doesn't, then they wasted all that story. The only thing that could ruin it is if Death, Texas, and Charlotte Flair get the win. Let me know what you think in the comments. Will Tiffy get the WrestleMania rub? Personally, I don't think so. I think Charlotte's going over. Coming in next, we have the United States Championship match in LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. This match is going to bang on many accounts. Was this whole thing thrown together in a few weeks? Yes. Is it going to be a banger of a match? Yes. I kind of feel like LA Knight is being put as a transitional champion here. because Jacob Fatu's character is literally being a destructive force of running through everyone who comes towards him. So having him lose to LA Knight here would, I feel like, just destroy his entire character. So unless they pull a DQ or some wild interference, which is possible, I think I'm going with Jacob Fatu. Okay, and we have made it to our main event for night one, a triple threat match between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk, with Paul Heyman watching in the corner. This match is going to be absolutely wild. This isn't really a match we saw coming until we started the road to WrestleMania. Everybody and their moms had CM Punk and Seth Rollins booked for WrestleMania. The whole I hate you but respect you vibe was so perfect. But then you started to think that Roman didn't really have anything for WrestleMania. There's no Rock match, there's no Cody, he's tied up with Cena, so it would only make sense to throw in Roman. And it added so many layers to the story once you bring in Paul Heyman and the favor. It really just kept piling on top of each other and making for a great story. So throwing Roman in there definitely adds a big match feel, especially when you're fighting over the wise man, my tribal chief. Now the real question is who takes the pin, because if Punk wins, the internet breaks. If Seth Rollins wins, justice is kind of served. And if Roman wins, then it's kind of just WWE being WWE. Personally, I'd really like Seth to walk out of WrestleMania with Paul Heyman by his side. The Great One had a really good point in his video during that promo on Raw when they were all talking. When Seth was talking about the future of WWE and what he wanted to do for the future of WWE, the facial expressions on Paul Heyman were all too telling. So personally, I'm going with Seth walking out with Paul Heyman and changing the business. Okay, moving on to night two, arguably the better night in my opinion. We have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. This match has definitely stirred the pot in the IWC, if you will. People feel like Drew's kind of been snubbed out of a victory for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I see. But to me, they both really need this win. And with the Sin City street fight stipulation, dude, this match is going to be a car wreck. You cannot deny that this match is going to be a banger.
Burger.
Weapons, interference, probably. Maybe even some casino themed nonsense. I would love to see people getting hit with a big ass casino chip like Double or Nothing. That'd be sweet. I think it would be smart of WWE to put Drew on a big post-Mania push and give him that actual title run that he deserves. I think it would make sense for Drew to dethrone someone like Jey Uso a little bit down the line after he wins that title. So with that, I'm going Drew. Next up, we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria and Bayley for the Women's Tag Team Championships. This match kind of seems like WWE put four of the most successful women who don't have a WrestleMania spot, shook them up and put them in a match, and threw the tag team title on it. I mean, for Christ's sake, Lyra Valkyria is the Intercontinental Champion, and she doesn't have a singles match. Also, Chelsea Green is the United States Women's Champion, and she doesn't even have a match at all. This absolutely proves that when they made the Women's Intercontinental Championship and the Women's United States Championship, that has absolutely failed. They need at least 10 more women to make that division useful. And they're all just sitting down in NXT. So I think Triple H needs to bring those women up and get them all set on the main roster because we need more competition badly. Personally, I think Liv and Raquel should hold on to those belts just because they're an actual team. They're in the Judgment Day. There's a story behind it. And Lyra and Bayley likely would just split up after they lose it anyway. But I wouldn't be surprised if WWE gives Bayley another feel-good moment at WrestleMania. Next, we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This match has all of the makings to be phenomenal. I mean, both of these guys have absolutely insane athleticism. And say what you want about Logan, but dude has showed up every single time and put on great matches. He's built for big moments, and you can tell. Pair him up with one of the most consistent in-ring performers in AJ Styles. This match is going to slap. We're eating. And yeah, I know the talk of the town is that Logan Paul practices his matches. Goddamn, I sure hope he practices his matches. For someone whose first few matches have been at the pinnacle of the business, I really hope he's polishing everything he can. But on the contrary, I am going to go with AJ Styles because something tells me this is a silent retirement run, and this is going to be the kickoff of that, and I think he needs this win more than Logan Paul, and Logan Paul won last year. Coming up next, we have a good one, the Intercontinental Championship match between Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, Penta, and Finn Balor. Holy spot balls, this match is undoubtedly going to cook. There's literally so many ways that this match could go, but I've kind of narrowed it down to two that really make sense. One, Dom steals a win in full troll fashion, paying homage to Eddie Guerrero. I like that one. Maybe even betraying Finn and leaving the Judgment Day once and for all. The second way is for Penta to win and kind of solidify himself on the main roster, and it would absolutely be a fan service moment. Everyone would love it, but I'm not really feeling that yet. I think he has a few more months to kind of show everybody who he is, and then they'll give him the title. If you were booking the match right now, who would you give the win to? Penta or Dom? Or Braun or Finn? Let me know down below. But I'm personally going to go with Dom because I feel like Penta can win this thing anytime in the next year. It doesn't really matter. Dom really needs something to progress his story forward, and if he doesn't get it soon, I think he could fall flat. Coming into our Women's World Championship match, we have Bianca Belair versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. This is one of those matches where the star power alone can make the match great. Just the women in the match and the way they can wrestle and the tools they have, it's gonna be a banger.
Burger.
The only problem is that the road to WrestleMania build has been way too long. A 6+ week stretch between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania is insane. And Mania on Easter? Who made that call? Sunday brunch with the family, and I gotta explain to grandma why Dominic Mysterio is getting booed out of the fucking building. I'm good. As to who should win the match, I actually want to see Bianca win this. I think she needs it, and I think it would open up a lot of possibilities. Like I said earlier, us getting that story with the triple threat between Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca, that shit would be awesome, and I can't wait for it if that's what they do. So I'm locked in with Bianca. And ladies and gentlemen, the final match of the night, the main event you've all been waiting for, the man who's turned heel versus the babyface, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship. When I think of this match and feud, the only word that comes to mind is groundbreaking. The fantasy of John Cena turning heel and beating up Cody Rhodes of all people is insane. But there's absolutely been some loose ends that definitely need to be tied up. Like, what the fuck does The Rock have to do with any of this? And how is that going to tie into the match at Mania? The only way to bring this all together and for it to make sense is for The Rock to come out and pull some "I'm your daddy, I'm your boss" shit, and have Cena walk out with his 17th World Championship around his waist. It also sets up a lot of stuff down the line and hopefully brings The Rock back in as a competitor and not just a corporate figure. I'm assuming we'll have some surprise returns to combat The Rock and whoever else is in there and Travis Scott. I'm assuming we'll get Stone Cold, maybe The Undertaker will come back. I'm hoping something big will happen just to really push that main event over the edge, because the build for this WrestleMania has been kind of so-so. The possibilities are absolutely endless, and I'm super excited for this shit. I'm going with John Cena winning his 17th World Championship. Book it. With that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude the video. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the first video on this channel. There is much more to come. Comment down below some stuff you want to see next, and I will see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Peace.